Good day, YouTubers. I want to talk to you about Meghan and Harry maybe joining Scientology because that's going around. There's a lot of negative press currently about Scientology from Leah Remini, and she did all those specials, and I watched those specials because I'm very fascinated by the various religions. I'm a Christian, but I studied all of the various religions, and I tried to read the Scientology book. That's one of the books I was unable to read. The other book that I simply could not read was the Bhagavad Gita. I just couldn't. The spirit associated with that book and the spirit associated with Scientology, I just literally couldn't read those books. I did visit. They have a huge temple in D.C. Me and my girlfriend at the time, we went and visited it, and we went down into the bowels and looked at books and such. And my impression of it, I'm very spiritually sensitive. It was like I was being watched the whole time. Like there were people behind walls. There was a weird guy walking around, spying on us, but nobody spoke to us. Nobody made contact with us. It was a very weird, uncomfortable experience for me. And I would liken it to like when you're sleeping, if you have a demonic visitation, they just sit there in stillness and watch you, and they're very menacing, but they don't move. That's how it felt. It felt like that. And also, David Miscavige, he's the guy who took over for L. Ron Hubbard. And a lot of negative stuff has been said about him. And apparently his wife, Shelley, has not been seen since 2007. And there's like whispers that, oh no, she has been seen once or twice, but she's looking like a homeless person, very skinny, very bedraggled, just looking like a mess. So I wanted to go into 70 famous Scientologists because it's a little shocking to me how many famous people are associated with Scientology, and this is the culture of Hollywood. Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, just the incredible abuses of Harvey Weinstein. That's cultural over there in Hollywood, and so many. I'm just shocked to see how many really famous celebrities are Scientologists. Tom Cruise, everybody knows Tom Cruise. He tried to get Katie Holmes involved. She's like, no way, Jose. Elizabeth Moss, she's from The Handmaid's Tale. She's very famous. Kirstie Alley, we all know who that is. John Travolta, very famous guy. Love John Travolta. Done some great stuff. Laura Prepon, look at her name. Laura Helene Prepon Hedonist. Wow. Did she change her name for that? That's that 70s show. That's where I know her from. She's great. Jason Lee. He's My Name is Earl. His female lead, I think her name is Presley. Man, she's beautiful. Love her. And really, really brilliant. I don't know why the Presley girl is always playing a bumpkin, because she seems like a rocket scientist to me. Kelly Preston, she was married to John Travolta, very famous. Beck Hansen, he's a singer-songwriter. They've got a bunch of songwriters in there. Erica Christensen, recognize her. She was in Traffic. Remember her? She was the girl in Traffic. Giovanni Ribisi, I love him. He's great. I love him. And I noticed him in, he was in Avatar. Yeah, I love him in Avatar, Saving Private Ryan, the stock market show, Boiler Room. Love him. Sonny Bono. No, not Sonny Bono. Juliette Lewis. Love her. She's great. She was in, when she was really young, she was in that show with Robert De Niro where he's an escaped criminal. She's amazing. Bijou Phillips, no idea who this person is. She's married to Danny Masterson. Okay. Isaac Hayes, not Isaac Hayes. Yep, but he's passed away now. Priscilla Presley, a Presley. Look how high and deep this goes. Jeff Conaway, sort of know him. He's a little bit famous. Ann Archer, very famous. Jenna Elfman, I like her. Billy Sheehan, another musician. Danny Masterson. So they've got the entire cast of That 70s Show, which was a great show. Edgar Winter, another famous musician. Marisa Ribisi. This is apparently the twin of Giovanni Ribisi. Peaches Geldof, the Geldofs, Bob Geldof. These people are Hollywood royalty. Meghan wants to be Hollywood royalty. This girl is Hollywood royalty. She's the real thing. Ethan Suplee, do you recognize him? I know this guy. I like him. Greta Van Susteren. And now they're into, she's a news commentator. So they're covering music, famous actors, and now they've got the news. Oh man, Bodie Elfman, another Elfman, Catherine Bell. Don't know who this person is. Chick Corea, really famous. So just a lot of really famous people. And that's the Hollywood culture. The other thing that I see is Meghan Markle is using Reiki and tapping therapy on Prince Harry and introducing him to ancestral healing. Let's just read about this. Meghan is using healing techniques known as Reiki and tapping or touching therapy to make them feel more balanced and relaxed. The Duchess of Sussex also taught Harry the spiritual concept of ancestral healing to help him break the cycle of genetic pain and suffering that he claimed his father passed on to him. That right there is brainwashing. Ancestral healing to help him break the cycle of genetic pain and suffering. And then to go and do all the tapping and Reiki and whatnot, that emphasizes and supports this whole idea that Harry needs to break this cycle of genetic pain and suffering.
Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. So, is the Church of Scientology recruiting Meghan and Harry? I tend to think that Meghan is more interested than Harry because that's her natural environment. She invited a whole bunch of celebrities to her wedding, and none of her family and none of her friends. Just only the lady from Canada who she now dissed. So, is the Church of Scientology recruiting Meghan and Harry? Let's just see. Because this feels like something Meghan would do. Ooh, oh, the snake and the devil. Some very interesting cards. I mean, snake and devil here are going to say to me false religion, but that could be offensive to any Scientologist. And they might say something like, oh, it's not a religion, it's just a way of thinking. And I don't know, maybe that's true. I did not get to study Scientology. Like I said, I did try to read the book. I tried to read it, and I just couldn't read it. Which is weird, because I read up on all the other religions. I read for like 10 years, I was reading all of the religions and studying them, just for giggles. Let's see, Finger of God, they're reaching out to them secretly and actively, 1418, on an ongoing basis. So they have been approached by Scientology. So they're reaching out to them behind the scenes actively on an ongoing basis. Cornerstone, very solid foundation, and I think they're not going for it. I think that would be a huge nail in Harry's coffin for a royal to join, the Scientologists. And I lived in Clearwater for a little bit. Well, I lived in St. Pete, which is right next to Clearwater. So, people talked about that. I had some drinks with some people, and they were chatting about, oh yeah, have you been over to the Scientology place? This is the spot. And I didn't even know that until they said it. Butterfly, and I think I didn't have like the smartphone and, all that information, in your hand. I'm a late adopter of the smartphone. So let's see, Butterfly Cross, spiritual religion. I mean, cross is very spiritual. It's also heavy. It's the perfect spiritual card because, like Jesus was a carpenter. It's in like Lenormand, the cross is like burdens. This is part of it. It's the melding of the physical burdens of life and spirituality. And the sevens return forever. So, spiritual, angels, spirits, and this earth and very spiritual. And this is another angel card. So we have two angel cards and dealing with it in this physical reality. And then we have snake. The snake in the Garden of Eden is a symbol of Satan. He was a liar. He deceived Eve, and she partook of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and then she gave some to Adam, and that's what the snake did. And then the snake was cursed. Apparently the snake had legs and, didn't slither on the ground and was very fast and very beautiful. Not anymore. Maybe more like a dragon. And then the devil. So snake and devil, very, very negative. Let's add this up. 20, 32 plus 39. 39. So 40 is 10 spades, 10 clubs. Very heavy over the long term. So a lot of deception cards, religious, very religious, and angel cards showing, and deception. Deception and lying. The devil is the worst card, and the snake is like a devil card. It's a female version of the devil card. So, depending on context and the other cards in the question. So, like two very demonic cards. So a demonic message about spirits and the spiritual and this life, and maybe false Christ. This could also say false Christ. Beware of fake false Christs, people claiming to be Jesus and the second coming. Beware of that. That's what they say. So they are reaching out to them. They are appealing to them. Harry and Meghan are like, no. At this point, they're like, no. So let's look at Meghan versus Harry, because my intuition is telling me that Meghan would be more interested in this than Harry. Okay, I hope Harry should have some inkling towards self-preservation, but he keeps doing these interviews and it really seems like he doesn't have any sense of self-preservation. So he might not. I think this would be another really, really bad blow for him in the future, because the royals will just hate this. This is another black mark on the royals. So Meghan and Harry, is it more appealing to Meghan or is it more appealing to Harry? We'll keep an open mind, see what the cards say. Meghan, angel. Wow. Those are very positive cards. Harry. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Well, wow. They both really love it. Harry's got the twos, 14, 4 diamonds. He really likes what they're saying. He's really down with this. He's really down with the program. He really likes it. He's really into it. Meghan, she has the yes card. She's really into it. And she just thinks this is, like, very spiritual, just wonderful teaching, loves it, 28/7, letting her into the secrets. And as we know, Meghan converted to Judaism for Trevor, and then she converted to Church of England, which I think is Lutheran here in America, for Harry. So she's big into converting. She might convert once or twice again before she's done, for whomever she's with. But up here we have the message is no, 3. So that's a 3. That's ace of clubs. Yeah, no. They're like, no, they really love it. They're like really into it. Both of them are really into it, but they're like, no. Working together, it's a no-go, and 12 and 15, 4 clubs. Yeah, so these extra underlying, This is saying that Harry realizes how bad this will play, that this is a big mistake for him, PR-wise, and for the royal family. But they love it. Oh my gosh, I am shocked. They're really into this Scientology stuff. They love it. As long as I could kick them out, I would be interested in talking to Scientologists and seeing what they really have to say, because I love that stuff. I just love talking about other religions. For instance, I read the Quran cover to cover. So when they lie to you about, Islam, I know the truth because I read it myself. And most of what you're told on TV is just straight up lies. They just constantly lie to you about what's in the Quran and what it says and what they believe, and they just lie to you constantly. And I know this because I read the Quran. Okay, and it's not like a really scary book or anything. And the thing is that the Quran was allegedly dictated by an angel. I actually believe this. I believe it was, because it has that tone. It sounds like it. But to clarify, I'm a Christian. Okay, I believe the Bible, and the Bible's a very unique book, and it has a different tone than the Quran. But the Quran is a very interesting book. But they're always lying to you about what the Quran actually says. Just throwing that out there. They never tell you the truth about it. Almost never. So have they had famous Scientologists visiting, some of these really famous people that I mentioned? Do they have famous Scientologists visiting Harry and Meghan? Because that would really sell it for Meghan. Because she's all about fame. Tree, very deeply connected in all the material things. 14 and 519. So reacting to circumstances. They feel like this is a good idea. 5 club, 5 hearts, 2 5s. They feel like this is a good idea. There's in all these spreads, at the end, you're getting really dark cards, really devastating cards. Talking, a lot of people coming over and talking and disappointed in the wise decisions. 22, 32, 38. Okay, so 10 spades, 10 clubs, 10 diamonds, royal family. Yeah, Harry won't join because of the royal family. I wonder if Meghan will join later, after she's done with Harry. She might, but you'll cross that bridge when you get to it. So Meghan is doing Reiki and tapping therapy on Harry and Archie. What is the effect? Shuffle properly. What is the effect this is having on Harry? I wonder if I'm going to see like gaslighting and deception. What effect is this Reiki and tapping therapy having on Harry? Because I think her true purpose is brainwashing. Oh boy. Stopping his way forward. Virtue signal for the whole world and with the people close to her, and stopping his way forward. 14, 18, 19, 27. Cross. And making it out to be a spiritual thing. So she's confusing him. She's stopping him. And that's what we're hearing out of his mouth. It's all, and that's what I'm seeing in the cards. Like all this PTSD stuff. It's for the eyes of the world. It's a virtue signal for the world. Carried out upon those closest to Meghan. Let's see. Player, very public. Scourge and straight razor. 4 and 11, 15, 4 clubs. Opportunity. This, again, they're just playing up the spiritual aspects. Interesting. So Meghan always wants to be viewed as an angel. She always wants to be viewed as an angel. And this is, they're she's painting herself as a saint, as a very spiritual person who only wants the best, and we're all about healing. And then they're making all these terrible accusations. Just, I mean, how do you defend against some of these accusations? I'm so just the accusations are just really crazy. Okay, so let's review. Is the Church of Scientology trying to recruit them? You bet. They're reaching out to them. And they're talking to them. But they're just not buying it at this point. Interestingly, Harry and Meghan, they both love it. They both love it, but they're like, no, because of the royal family. So that's really interesting. So he's not completely brain dead. He's not completely under the spell of Meghan at this point. He's still trying not to completely destroy himself. Have the famous Scientologists been visiting? Yeah, a whole bunch of them. 6 Diamonds, 7 Hearts, and visiting to talk to them. And so they're bringing out the big guns, the big money people, because that's what Meghan likes. And this Reiki tapping therapy. Reiki and tapping. Those are 2 different things. But it's all just a big spiritual virtue signal. It's for the eyes of the public. Oh, Nito Torpedo, that's really cool. And, Meghan is sort of vegan sometimes, but not on the weekends. And she has rescue dogs and all that stuff. Strangely, it's a virtue signal. But, Meghan is showing that she's a very spiritual person. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle in paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. We have the book back in stock here at Etsy. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment.